Okay, well, let's go inside. I've got my cat and my bird both on the table. My bird is in the pail there. Yes, I got a cat and a bird. Am I ever lucky? Not everybody can say they've got a cat and a bird. Eh? Not everybody can say that, Rocky. Very few people can say it, in fact. You know what? You're a very good boy. And I appreciate the fact that you did not interfere with the bird when I put him up there and went up to the truck. That is very, very good. I'm appreciative of that. And you know what I'm going to do for you? I'll tell you what I'm going to do because I love you and because I just really appreciate you too. Oh, I love the noises you make. Okay, now you see what this is? See what I have here? These are licky treats. Holy smokes, Rocky. Oh, I nearly said the F word. I caught myself. I'm going to say holy. Oh, no. Holy smokes. That's what I'll say. Yeah, look, it's a licky treat. Oh, wow. Hey. Okay, you. All right, hold on here now. I got some dishes soaking there. Oh, okay, here we go now. Apparently, the bird probably isn't liking too much the noise I'm making right now. I'm being quite noisy. I'm probably disturbing the poor little bird. Probably, eh? Probably I am. All right, then now let me see. Oh, I know. I know all about it. You want to believe I know about it. You're such a good boy. I have to give you licky treats. I do. I don't have a choice. I must do it. You missed getting a licky treat on Sunday, but then I gave you one on Monday. So I sort of made up for it. But you're such a good boy. I've decided to give you a midweek licky treat. I did, because you're such a good boy. And I'm very appreciative of you. And you, even though there's a bird in the camper, and I know that you know there's a bird in that pail over there, but you still showed a remarkable amount of self-restraint. And you haven't knocked the pail over and tried to get the bird or anything, which, you know, a lot of cats would. It's tough to ignore your instincts, I'll tell you that. It is very tough to ignore your natural inclinations, eh? To be obedient to a doofus like me, especially. So, you know, that crazy guy told me not to interfere with that bird when he went up to the truck. And, you know, I really want to, but I'm not going to. Anyway, you earned yourself a licky treat, you did. Yes, you did. The bird's not getting any food or water because we don't know what's appropriate for him. So we'll leave that up to the bird rescue people. We will. Yes, we will. They'll figure it out. He'll get some nourishment tomorrow, probably, hopefully. If we can get him to the rescue. Hey, you. Oh my goodness, Rocky, look at you. You're about the most beautiful creature in the whole world. You are. He loves this stuff. He certainly does have an appetite anyway. Rocky has a good appetite. He does. Okay, Rocky, I think that's all there is, sweetie. Let me give it one more squeeze just in case. Just like that fellow I knew back in the 80s who was married to somebody I knew who lived in common law with her, actually. And he just bust out into a rousing chorus of, "Geez, Louise, give me just one more squeeze. Huh." He'd do that. He'd just do that out of the blue. You'd be sitting there and he'd be in the room or he'd be in the house or whatever, you know. And all of a sudden you'd hear, "Geez, Louise, give me just one more squeeze. Huh." Yeah. You're quite a character. People are different, you know. We all have our own little idiosyncrasies, and that just happened to be one of his anyway. But yeah, I've got my dishes soaking there. I've got to do them, and I will do them. Yeah, And that's it. Anyway, I'm going to turn on the heat because I think the little bird might be more appreciative of a warm place, and it's a little nippy in here. So we'll turn on the heat for a little while before bed. We will, in honor of our guest. Yeah, we will. Well, I was talking to a friend of mine today, an old friend of mine who I did some work for a few years back. We dug a bunch of trenches and we laid railway ties in them. And we built up walls, basically, from there for his gardens. You know, and it actually looks really nice. We did a really good job. We worked together, me and him, and we did that. Anyway, he's having some health issues now. Some issues with his legs and so on, and he needs a little help around there. So he's sent me a message to inquire about hiring me to come and do some work for him in late June and early July. And I'd be more than happy to do that. I always like hearing from that guy. He's a very nice fellow, and he's a good friend of mine anyway. He was a friend of mine even before I worked for him, really. And when I lost my house, he helped me out quite a bit.